Wednesday 24th of June, it's US cash market close update. Piotr here. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, guys. The Slide Forex Global YouTube channel. I'm sorry for those shadows, right? But I'm working with the I'm waiting and I'm going to work with the a little bit more professional light, so I'm sorry for the shadows. Been thinking if I should go with the camera or without. I decided to go with the camera. It's a sad day, guys, to be honest with you. Basically because of the US CDC coronavirus stats. They showing increase in deaths and new cases. That's of course horrible. And well, one can ask if that's the main reason of what we've seen when it comes to the indices, right? Because as you can see here, that's the Nasdaq, and we have a quite big move to the downside. We are pulling back towards the weekly open. We almost test these levels over the course of the day, a little bit of the recovery towards the end of the day. But again, guys, we are trading above some important levels. We were discussing quite a few times that the Nasdaq is the strongest. We have another level of the weakness, and we are trying to hold intraday weakness or local weakness, and we are trying to hold that one towards the end of the day. Adding into that end of the quarter is coming, so some kind of the window dressing could take the place. Well, I'm not gonna be surprised if it's gonna to be just one more 3% drop, right, and then going higher, especially because of the end of the quarter. But well, I think that we are not well. From the media perspective, it's quite good to use the COVID cases as an explanation why we've seen the market pullback today, right? Or why we are seeing this bumpy roads. Well, that's the very good from the media perspective, but the reality is that maybe at some point some big guys, big names recognize that, well, we are too high, too fast, and it's time to get back to reality, to the economic reality, because we are going to have economic problems because of the COVID-19, right? Of course, it's a very, very sad situation with what is going on all around the world. Maybe Europe, where I'm based right now, doing a little bit better right now, but doesn't change the overall picture, right? Of course, it's gonna to influence the economic growth worldwide. And if you are going to add into that picture that IMF lowered the worldwide GDP, we have some kind of the picture, right? So well, okay, we might go even higher because of the next stimulus, because of the current stimulus, because of the plans of the next stimulus, etc., etc. But you know, that's not gonna end well at the end, right? But trying not to be that, you know, pessimistic. Well, again, Nasdaq is trying to hold two local weaknesses based on the daily close. So I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to see move higher tomorrow. The things might get hit with the break of the weekly open, right? So what is going to be important when it comes to the Nasdaq, what to watch tomorrow, is going to be this line over here. Let's make it dotted. It's a weekly open, boom, right? If we are going to get the break below and even daily close below, the things might speed up to the downside, and that zone could be tested, right? But we are discussing the strongest index. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the S&P 500. Okay, and here the things are not that great. Okay, well, we cannot even test the levels we were discussing with some kind of the creation of the upper shadow, right? We are talking about the 3,200, 3,220, and we couldn't get that high, right? We cannot test this supply, all right? We have the rejection last Friday, we have a rejection right now. Of course, no doubt about it, we have quite strong demand we've seen previously, right? Last Monday, this huge turnaround over here. So overall, bulls are going to try to defend 2,950, 3,000, all right? But the bears may start to feel the blood with 1-to-1 eventually, okay? We might try to retest 2,850, right? And we might even see eventually the continuation to the downside, all right? To 750 with the trend line, that could be the case, right? We are going to discuss every day about this scenario. We are going to make the updates every day about this scenario because of the end of the quarter, right? Easily, because of this plenty of money on the market, we can easily put the sellers into the corner, right? Easily. So guys, especially if you are new, don't chase the market. So that's how I see the indices. Nasdaq is the strongest. If you are looking to sell an S&P and DJ, I would be careful right now with the Nasdaq. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the currencies. Well, euro dollar, bumpy road. We moved higher than what we were supposed to see here. That's what we discussed. So switch to buying dips on euro dollar. The first dip around 1270 didn't work out from the intraday perspective, right? Because we are testing 1250. So I do expect we might see again retest of the yearly open again by tomorrow, and this local weakness over here could be in play, right? And 50% with that one, 50% of that is around yearly open. We are talking about the levels close to 1220, and we are discussing this those two bullish scenario, right? So what I'm gonna to look for when it comes to the euro dollar, again, when it comes to the selling, I want to see levels close to the post FOMC high. When it comes to the buying, I'm going to put probably buy order during the London session. Depends where we are going to be around the London Open, somewhere close to yearly open. That's how I see the euro dollar, right? Next one is a dollar yen, and here trying to fade that rally towards 107. All right, I'm trying to fade that one with what we discussed. Tiny stop above yesterday high because we moved to the downside based on the rumors, SoftBank rumors. We hold 106. Nice rally to the upside. Easily it could be stop count to the upside. We will see what's going to happen. If the shorts are going to stay alive, right, we might see levels close to 104.50. That's what we already discussed. In case of the break of 107.40, 107.60, we might reopen levels close to 108.40, right? then again 108.80, 109.20 when it comes to the dollar yen. So looks like there is a little bit of the turnaround when it comes to the dollar, right? So I do understand that discussed euro dollar, that's what we discussed a second ago. That could be the tricky long here, so I'm going to watch where we are closer to the London Open. And the last one before we go to the bet is of course the cable. Here it's doing what it was supposed to do, right? Down, up, down, the same size to the upside. Huge sell-off, huge sell-off. In that case, I do expect we are going to retest 2270, 2260 by tomorrow or Friday this week, and that's how I see the things when it comes to the cable. Of course, we are going to have to watch 2340 weekly open. Okay, that's the key here. But I do expect some stop hunt below could easily challenge the 2270, 2260 when it comes to the cable. With that being said, of course, euro pound is doing what it was supposed to do, holding levels close to the 90, 20 we discussed previously. Congratulations to the longs. Well, we will see if the bulls are going to make the break of the 90.70, 90.80 tomorrow. With that being said, risk was off today. I'm sorry. The thing is, what we have to ask ourselves, it was just one day of the profit taking, and tomorrow we are getting back to the normal, meaning to the risk on, or this time is different. Well, if that wouldn't be end of the quarter, the percentage wise, I would say we got huge chance to continue to downside, but because of the end of the quarter, it might be again a little bit different, and we might see risk of trying to get back in July when the earnings season will start. That's it from me, guys. It was my pleasure to make this update for you. Be careful, don't chase the market. It's a really tough market, higher volatility, so well, that might be quite good solution to try to lower your exposure. With that being said, have a good evening, have a good night, and see you around tomorrow. Take care, guys. Good night.